Hello there. I'm Rick Ware. I'm profoundly deaf. I really have no hearing at all right now because I have no hearing aid. And I rarely use my voice at this time because, well, I'm by myself here. I live alone. So, um, I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience having learned sign language. And for you middle schoolers out there, um, if you're learning ASL, the most common thing for ASL students they would like to learn the bad signs first, but in this case, probably won't do that. However, I would tell you that American Sign Language and English itself is a little bit different from each other, and ASL is mostly like a little bit backwards. Let's say I go to a store, and ASL is store I go. So we can understand the concept of store. I'm going to the store. In English, I'm going to the store, you know. But it's an ASL store I go. It makes it simpler. Because if you use the exact English, it's like, I'm going to the store. And it's a little bit more work. So the people like to simplify the signing and go store I go. Um, or like you said, um, the cake is finished, or cake's finished. Yeah. There's just many other things. There's sometimes at least three signs for the same word, but it depends. I could go to detail, but I make it a short video. Um, my experience in middle school was this: I was mainstream, and I was considered too advanced for deaf classes, which were basically second and third grade reading level, language level, and I was way behind. So I learned how to. Actually, I became deaf when I was 4, so I already had language inside of me, and I knew how to speak. I was raised in a hearing family, and I learned how to sign when I was 12, 11, 12. But I did not learn American Sign Language until I was 19 because it's different from English Sign to American Sign Language. So, but hanging around with deaf people for a long time, and I learned ASL within 6 months. Nice. Even though I didn't have to take a class, but I did take a class, and I learned ASL in about 6 months. And I mastered it. So, you can say I'm really trilingual. I I know English, I know Spanish, I know American Sign Language. So the three, and I can speak two at once. So I'm very talented. Yeah. Okay. Um, so for you middle schoolers out there, I would strongly encourage you, like once the pandemic is over, I would strongly encourage you to go to a Starbucks social or something. You just look up Atlanta area, or Georgia area, Dutch socials, whatever, and you could have it for like Starbucks or something. And ASL students go there and then they mix around with the people. That's what we have here before the pandemic hit. And so since March, we have not had any socials here. But it's the best place for you to learn is among the deaf community. It's not necessarily like a classroom, although it helps. But I would strongly encourage you to learn in the deaf community. And the deaf community is going to help you learn a lot faster. Um, practice, practice makes perfect too. You practice at home, or you can watch a lot of different YouTube videos. In fact, in Netflix, no, I don't know if your parents will let you. Maybe when you're a bit old enough, then you can watch Deaf Year in Netflix. Deaf Year is about a 6-part miniseries on focusing on students' lives in Gallaudet University. I went to Gallaudet University in Washington, D.C., and I'm a 2001 graduate. And I majored in communication arts, and just basically everyone in the university science. Um, and it was for that reason that the reason I attended the university was that it was a better place for me to learn things as opposed to being here in school. And the classes were small, and I didn't like being in big classes like major university would have. But I liked the smaller classes, smaller interactive classes. And the university was a perfect fit for me. I have no regrets attending it. The school is located in Washington, D.C., in case you guys don't know. If you ever get a chance to visit Washington, you can tour the school. There are tours available daily. And you can research everything about deaf culture or whatever you can learn. So, if there are any questions, hit me up. I do have a Facebook account, Great Career. Or you can get through that to your teacher. Your teacher can send me the questions to me. In case your teacher is Mrs. Carino, right? But I knew your sister. I knew Susan and her older sister Amy in high school a long time ago in Bogota, Colombia, which is weird. I I happen to be in Bogota because my parents, were there. My family is there, and I stayed for about 3 years. And I got to meet the Atkinson sisters, the time Atkinsons, before they married. So anyway, that's about it. If there's any questions, hit me up. I'll be glad to answer them. Have a good day.